Welcome to a new video. Good morning. I hope that you're doing good. If it's your first time here, my name is Tyson. I hope that you love this video today. And if you're new to the channel, we always talk about spirituality, relationships, breaking our limiting beliefs, our belittling beliefs is what I was going to say. That's not even a word, but breaking our limiting beliefs and stepping into our power, okay? And I wanted to talk to y'all about this today because it's so important to me, and it's part of the reason why I created this channel and made this channel called Owning Purpose. Today we're talking about, and you see the title, if you're a minority and you're part of the LGBTQ plus community or you are gay, and for those who don't know what the LGBTQ plus thing even stands for, it is lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and I forgot the I because there's an I to it, but I can't remember. If you remember what the I means, put it down below in the comments. I hope I got that right. LGBTQ. I think I missed the bisexual part. But anyway, y'all know what it is. So I really wanted to make this because part of my purpose on this channel is not only to just talk about, how to discover your purpose and what it actually really means, talk about shadow work and, manifesting love and attachment. All that stuff is great. But in my experience, being a queer black man, I like to say queer because it doesn't put me in like one identity of just a box of being gay, has allowed me to express myself in many different ways, from my personality to my emotions to just owning the fact that I wasn't attracted to girls like that growing up. I never really understood from my from my male cousins on my daddy's side and my mom's side, and then even from just being in school and hanging out with friends and just hearing guys. I played a lot of sports, with football and basketball and all of that. Hitting this girl up and hitting that girl up and smashing this one and getting a relationship with her and crushing. I never got that. I never really understood that. I mean, I'm very attractive, nice body, good personality, like all of that stuff. But I never was, into women like that. I never, and it's surprising to a lot of people, but I ain't never done no sexual shit with no girl, and I don't ever plan on it, okay? And so, which is interesting, because to a lot of people, it is scary, right? And I'm speaking for those that are in high school, that are in college, or maybe, you're just after college, or maybe you dropped out of high school, whatever it is, you are in a space right now where your friends don't understand your sexuality. Your parents don't understand. Your family don't get it. You feel very alone. And I wanted to make this because I know when I was looking at people in 8th and 9th grade, when I was very vulnerable about my sexuality for a long time. I just never was, I think, really, really open, I guess, to it. Or I guess it wasn't exposed as much until I went to college. And I remember I had posted a video, a picture of me and my ex back in like 2017, and my brother had seen. My brother was like, "Does mom and dad know about this?" And I was like, "No," and I blocked him. And for years, and we talked about it like a couple of years ago, like a year ago or two, and it just goes to kind of show, like, first of all, my brother already knew, but second of all, it just kind of goes to the mere fact that I never hid who I was, and I felt like, even though I was very scared, because if y'all don't know, in my inner child healing playlist, I'll link it up above, but I talk about me going to a Christian school in high school and, just being in those environments for 4 years of your life, from 13 to 18 or however long the years are for high school. And that was a struggle. I didn't have nobody that understood my stuff. Even though I was very well known, I was good in sports, I was very successful, I was very scared at the same time. But I was also really vulnerable. And when I was looking on YouTube around those years, when I was 13, 14, I didn't have nobody that I could look up. When I looked up black, gay, or whatever, or minority and gay, it was always, vlogs and stuff like that. It wasn't, anybody sitting down in a chair and actually telling you, like, it's okay to be yourself. And whether you are religious or whether you are spiritual, whatever you lean on, whatever you grew up around, please understand that even your spiritual, stuff that you had to learn is not your fault, right? It's just your parents and your family just installing into you what it is that they learned and doing the best that they can to teach you. And so when those things don't resonate, when I started to look back at myself and be like, wait, you mean to tell me that, you're supposed to, that bullshit saying of hate the sin but love the sinner, no, love the sinner but hate the sin, That didn't make no sense to me because that's conditional. How you going to hate what I'm expressing to you and you going to condemn me for it, but then you say that you love me? That's very unconditional to me, because it's very conditional, because unconditional love is when you are able to accept this person purely as they are. You may have things that you don't particularly like, and that's okay, because we all have stuff that we don't like, right? About ourselves, about what we do for a living, or about, certain friends and people. We don't like certain things, but we still love people, and we still like to be around them. And I had to come to this knowing that if I don't allow myself to be me, if I don't allow myself to express myself, if I don't allow this channel and my purpose for me to say, I'm not just going to be somebody that is just going to make videos about purpose and the good stuff. I'm going to really dive deep and say, this is me. And especially even being around other partners. And I particularly am more drawn to guys that are more flamboyant than I am. I have a little bit of it, but I particularly have, like my boyfriend now, he's extremely, he's a lot more flamboyant than me. And his style is a lot different than me. And he's even went through some things that is very different. As far as his own upbringing, and even other people that I've met, some of my other friends and their own experiences. But a lot of times with minority kids, we are, and I'm talking Asian, Hispanic, a lot of people who grow up in these heavy religions, no matter what your religion is, it's always ostracized. You're always different because you're bisexual, because you're gay, because you're trans. All of these things is like, let's just push them to the side because, God said to do this and God said to do that. And if you don't do that, you go into a burning fire. And it's like, is that how you really want people to feel? These are human beings at the end of the day. And I know a lot of you who have gone through depression. And if you're watching this and you're depressed because you have a boyfriend, you got to keep him, you got to hide him, right? You want to express yourself through certain clothing, but you're scared. Give yourself time and give yourself grace. Don't rush yourself into this. But you will wake up one day. And I don't mean physically wake up out of like the night today. I mean like you will wake up in your conscious mind. You will get up and something will click in you that says, I can't live like this no more. And I've come to the realization, because I know one of my biggest fears, I took a course with one of my friends. He actually helps gay, bisexual, and trans people to discover their shame. And a lot of us have shame as minorities, right? We have shame for, our culture, right? If we are a man that's like me, that was recognized for sports and recognized for, being known and recognized for all these different things, and then you come out about something that is, totally kind of a shock to people because you didn't maybe present yourself as that, it becomes this really big thing. So some things that I learned in my journey is, I know that in September of last year, I had a huge fear. And most men, if you're black, or if you're just a minority and you're a man, or even if you're a woman, but mostly it's within men in this community that, we have the AIDS thing, right? And so, that happened obviously in the 80s and 90s, and it was really big and all this other stuff. And so I had to learn that just like what we faced in 2020 with the virus, anybody can get AIDS. If we're being truthful, anybody. And so it's a lot of times it's seen that, okay, black men are more susceptible to that. Well, so is your straight cousin who's got 15 different kids, you know what I mean? Or, 15 different women that he's sleeping around with. So the point is that don't allow that to bring fear into your mind. Don't let other people bring fear into. Baby, listen, I went through college, okay, and I had my days. I already had my partners, okay, and I was safe. I was protected. I take care of my body, okay. I don't play about my health. Even my boyfriend now, before we got into some things, I was making sure that he was, safe, and all those things matter. But I know that's a big thing, and I want to step on that real quick. But the point of this is, don't let other people beat you into fear. I also had the hell thing, right? Being scared that, God was coming back to kill me, and I was going to burn up in hell, and I wasn't going to enter the gate of heaven, and all of this stuff, right? And when you grow up in these type of environments, right, where people are, they don't, the mold that they have shaped for you is not the mold that they would like. And so what they do is they start to say, well, there's consequences that come with that. There's this and that and all this different stuff. as minorities in general, even if you're a straight minority, you're a heterosexual minority, there are still battles and hill fields you have to face in this U.S. White-run world, okay? Not U.S., but white-run society, okay? So at the end of the day, it's going to be a challenge in some type of way for a minority anyway, okay? Because even if you're white and you're gay, or you're white and you're trans, you still have, you know, privilege. This video is not about privilege. I don't want to get into all that, but I do just want to say that the whole point of that is, do not allow people to stop you from being and living in your truth. You know, I've came to the understanding that, you know, there are people who are older in my family. There are people who I will meet out in public who will not agree, right, with me. There are people who are online. When I posted my coming out video, which I'm going to put it up here so y'all can get a deeper story of how my experience was, especially in school and all of that stuff, you know, I remember there was people who commented. I got mostly love, but there was some people who were putting me little Bible verses, baby, and saying that there was something wrong with me and all this other stuff. And I had to realize that I always was talking about my sexuality from when I was really like in, really more so 9th grade, but I give myself credit for 8th grade. But I was always talking about this. You know, I kind of hid it, but I did get in trouble like back in the kick days and back when I had Tinder and all of that stuff. You know, I was on there texting little boys and stuff, and my, you know, parents would check my phone and stuff like that. You know, y'all know how it is, right? And you get in trouble and they take your phone away and stuff like that, doing conversations and talk that you ain't got no business doing. Excuse me, at a young age. But I just say all of that because I don't regret none of it. I understand that there are going to be some people who, because at some point I will have a husband, right? I will have a fiance who is a man, you know, and I have a boyfriend now. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very, very, very proud of that. And one of the things I knew about myself was I always had such affection for my partners out in public. And I know now that's like a big thing, right? Because in some places, you know, you can get murdered for that. You can get, it's a lot, okay? Even in the United States, it's still like that depending on where you go, okay? You have a lot of homophobia and things like that. And I just always was myself. You know, even when I was in college, when I lived with roommates, they were all heterosexual men, all black men. And they were really cool with me. And, you know, I don't really think it's about sexuality. It's really about who you are as a person. So please allow yourself to be vulnerable. Let yourself explore. You know, I don't do makeup, I don't do nails, I don't do purses and stuff like that. But let yourself get into this stuff. Explore these things. It is soulfully who you are. You know, I love to explore myself and to be in places and to get to know new people. You know, y'all, because when I first went out to college, I was so trained in the mind from everything that was going on from my life before college that, baby, I thought trans people were just horrible. I thought I thought a little bit that like bisexual people were like confused, and I had all them types of stuff, and I just knew I was gay. But what I did know was that all those thoughts didn't come from me. They came from older people in my family that ain't got shit to do with what I got in my own mind. They came from friends who had their own opinions, who were extremely religious that I'm no longer friends with anymore at the time. So you have to kind of learn to step into your own power, okay? Let yourself own your own sexuality. Let yourself own. I'm gonna make a video after this that's gonna be called, I have it right here actually, Living in Your Truth and Being Authentic. I made a part 1 to that. This is gonna be a part 2 after this video is uploaded. But I want you to go back and watch the one that I made, part 1. I'll put it up in the link above. But I want you to watch that because I know that that's also a really big insider of how you'll get to know yourself a little bit deeper. But I hope you got something from this video. I just don't want you to go around and, you know, feel like you don't have support. I am your support. So please DM me. Let's talk. I offer a one-on-one coaching as well. I'm gonna put my Calendly link down below. And I want to talk to you. I want to help you out because it's not fair. Whether you watch a YouTube video, whether you actually want to do a consulting talk or coaching session or whatever, you just need to talk to somebody. Just DM me. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation because this isn't fair. It isn't fair that you are a human being, that you just want to be happy in your skin. This life is short and people are condemning you. People are being mean to you. People are not wanting to even accept or meet your boyfriend or your partner or, you know, your self-expression and what you do. They don't want to go shopping with you or be around you because it's not what they imagine for you, right? It's not fitting in their box. And to be honest with you, that's fucked up. We can't do that to humans. We got to understand people are killing themselves. This is what gets me. When I read stuff about people, there was a 14-year-old boy who was in school a couple years ago. I forgot his name. This boy was bullied because he was gay. He was a little black, skinny little black boy. He killed himself. He was like 14, 15. And I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that I'm sure he wasn't just facing that at school. It would be one thing to face it at school. But if he was getting enough love at home, I guarantee you he would not have killed himself. Because most people, it's their families that they really want to accept them. Because we're born into our families before we meet our friends. Right? So, and we spend 95% of the time, most of the time, for most of us, unless you're in foster care or something like that, you spend a lot of time with your family most of the time growing up, your siblings, your cousins. So, I can imagine what was going on in his mind. So anyway, this is just something big. I think that, you know, I had to create this video. I know it's very long, but thank you for those who stuck around and who waited. And please remember, all my resources are down below in the description box, because one of my biggest purposes is that other young minorities, and particularly just within my own experience, young black men who are either the same age as me or just even younger than me, to really learn to embrace their own selves, because this is something that's not talked about much. We see a lot of the times people like Billy Porter, we see these guys like Lil Nas who are very flamboyant and out there and whatever, but we don't realize that there are men who are also like me, who aren't maybe as flamboyant, or who doesn't, you know, paint my nails all the time and doesn't get all these acrylics and things like that, doesn't shake my ass everywhere, you know, that need someone to talk to. And I want to be that representation for it. And even if you're a girl and you're watching this, right? If you identify as bisexual or you identify as trans, you know, I had said that I was bisexual at once, but I said that because I wanted to still have a little bit. I wanted my parents and my family and some of my friends to have faith that I still liked girls, which that was a complete lie. I was like guys the whole time. But sometimes we do that. You know, I even learned that even with bisexuality, it's not just liking guys or liking girls. It's just that guy has an attraction to that girl or to that guy. And, you know, it's all about comfortability. Who do they feel emotionally safe with? You know, I can't explain to you why I have an attraction to men. I just know that that is what I have felt comfortable with. And by the grace of God, again, it's not because I have not been raped. I have not been molested. You know, I really apologize, and I really send love and comfort to you if that has been your story. But I've never had those things. That never happened to me. My dad wasn't abandoned or gone or raped me, or, you know what I mean? Oh, I don't think you're supposed to say that word, but, you know, there was none of that. You know what I mean? I have always, you know, been me. And, you know, I think a lot of people have accepted me for that. They accept my personality, but they don't want to come to an acceptance of, like, I have a boyfriend. I've had 3 boyfriends in my life. Okay, so, and the current one I have now is amazing, and I would not give it up for anything. So I feel like at the end of the day, you know, whether you like me, whether you don't, whether you fuck with me, whether you don't, this is part of my journey. And I cannot lie to myself, and I damn sure cannot lie to my ancestors. I damn sure cannot try to downplay it low for the ones who died before me in my lineage, who were gay, who were not able to experience what I'm experiencing. I often feel like somebody in the Bahamas, I feel like it is, but that was gay and was not able to, or DL, and was not able to come out and express themselves. They would get killed, or they'd be casted out their family. I'm the one to do that. I feel like they're living through me a lot of times, is what I say to people. When they ask me about these things, I become a lot more vulnerable with my family members. I've become a lot more vulnerable with myself. I've introduced my family, well, my cousins, to my boyfriend currently that I have now for the first time. That was something I've never done before, but it's game over. You know, I allow myself. I have clothing that are technically women's clothing. Please allow yourself to be yourself. This life is so short, man. You know, Like, God forbid, I say this sometimes, but I'm like, this could be the last video you ever see me make. And I always think to myself, if I'm making videos, I want them to be videos that somebody can really benefit from. You could be somebody right now that's about to end their life because you couldn't see a way out, but because I made this video, because I listened to my intuition, my soul, my inner guidance, and I share my story, and maybe you can relate. Maybe you didn't go to a Christian high school, but maybe you just dealt with it in your home. Maybe you were in the church. Maybe you sang a lot in the church. Maybe you were the church leader, the choir leader, the worship leader, whatever. Maybe you just got bullied a lot. And maybe you just never went to church or never was in any religion, but you just felt like an outcast in the family or outcast in your friend group. And I just want you to know you're loved, you're cared for, and live your life. I speak that each and every one of you find great love, and from your friends, from your crush, from your whoever, but really mainly within yourself. This video is 21 minutes long. I'm so sorry. But I'll see y'all later, okay? Listen to this when y'all are like rolling around. I should have said this in the beginning, but listen to this when you're cleaning up or something. But anyway, peace out. See y'all in the next video. I'm going to post my next video, like I said, about being and living in your authentic truth. Check out the Inner Child Healing playlist, the gay video that's up, the coming out video that's up here. And I think the authentic video that I said I was going to post. One of them. I'll have the coming out video and the inner child up above for sure. Down below is all my resources if you want to do coaching with me. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next motherfucking video. Peace.